Hey guys, welcome. It's Jack from CasinoIncomeAcademy.com, and I'm not sure where this video is going to be, if this is going to be strictly a internal video for our team, or is this going to be something that's on YouTube. We're working on some very, very interesting things that have to do with the game planning and money manipulation side of these things. And we're looking for systems that fit certain criteria to continue this evaluation that we're doing for these new concepts. And the team brought this to my attention. And the funny thing is, we did a video on this a couple of months ago. This was basically a Whalen concept. And I don't know how it slipped my mind, but they love this one. They've been playing it. And I don't know why I didn't think of this for what we're experimenting with. So here's the original Whalen video, the DC Inside Match level. He did a couple of videos. This is the one for the $5. So if you go to Whalen's Way Craps with Alicia, just put in, search for DC Inside Match, and this will pop up. All right. So I'm going to show this at that level. Okay, so here we go. I have a $800 bankroll. I think you can play this with about a $700 bankroll at this level. So we already have a point out here. So let's just do this. And there is a 9, a 5, 4, 9. So this uses a DC.
Nina.
And what we're going to do for this is a $20 DC. Okay. And then you'll see what happens. All right, that's a 6. So we're going to move to the 6.
6 easy.
And now at this level, we're playing the inside bets. Okay. The 5, 6, hold on a minute. Let me make sure. I'll be right back. Hold on one sec. Yeah, 5, 6. Hold on one sec. Okay, I'm back. So then what you're going to do when you're using the 20, you're going to do a 5, 6, 8, and 9. And we're going to cap these so the math works out right for us. Okay, so these are $6 bets. These are 5. And yes, there is a bet underneath the DC. Okay, and the way the math works out is that even if the 6 came now, you're not losing the full $20. But that's not really the story. We're going to be looking for one hit on any of the other numbers, right? In this case, the 5, 8, or the 9. And you're going to see how we operate here. All right, that's a 12. That doesn't do anything. All right, that's a 7 out. So what happens in a 7 out situation where we haven't done the second leg of this deal is we are going to lose this, this, and this. We're going to lose a portion of this. Well, we're going to lose all of these. What am I saying? We're going to lose all of this. So this is going to end up being a loss because we didn't get one hit on these other ones. So that's perfectly fine. No big deal. You're going to see how it plays out with every possibility. All right. So that's a 7. We lost $2. We lost the cap money. Okay? That's what all we lost was the cap. No big deal. All right. That's a 5. So we're getting another point. 3, 2, 5. That triggers us to be able to go back on the DC. And you've really got to watch this and see what we're doing. It's not as simple as just making a hit on those bets. We're going to be changing the bets. So pay attention. Okay. That's a 9. So it triggers us to go to the 9. The DC travels to the 9. And once again, we're going to do the $5 bets here. And obviously, we have to cap the 6 and 8. So what we're really looking to have happen here is for one of these to hit. So then we can show you the second leg of this strategy. And that does not happen again because we get a 7 out immediately. But that's okay. Let's just keep going. And you'll get to see what happens. So we lost $2 again. No big deal. Okay. 549. I promise you that we will be able to show this.
Nina.
Okay. We're back out over here. Whoops. Hold on. We're back out over here with our $20 DC. Okay, that's a 12. Nothing happens. And that's a 10. A 6, 4, 10.
10 easy.
Okay. So now the DC is not on an inside number. Okay, no big deal. So we're still putting our 5, 6, 8, and 9. We're capping the 6 and 8. And now, once again, we're looking for a hit. And we don't get it again. This is absolutely crazy. We've had PSOs every single, well, it's not really a PSO. It's a PSO for us playing the Don't Come. But this has been crazy.
7 out.
And remember, these are it's only a $2 loss. It's not a big deal. But wow. Okay, here we go. That's a 12. That's a 6. Okay, so the point is a 6. This has been crazy. The first throw after
6 hard.
After the DC just keeps being 7. Okay, let's just keep going. All right, no big deal. All right, there we go. 3, 2, 5. So the DC is going to move to the 5. I promise you're going to get to see this strategy. Come on.
5 fever.
All right. And we're back out on the numbers. And this time we are under the 5. Like so. And we have to cap the 6 and 8. Okay, here we go. Let's hope that we actually get a number this time. Whoops, off the thing. Okay, 4, 2, 6. All right, so we finally got a number. So watch this. 4, 2, 6. We're going to get paid on the 6.
Winner.
All right, $7. But let's click these back on. These have to be working as long as you have a DC bet on. Now, once you get a hit on one of these other numbers, what's going to happen is you're going to go up a full level on each one of these. Like so. The 5s went to 10s and the 6s went to 12. All right, now, what we're doing is we're looking for one hit. And there it is. So we're going to make, watch this, 5, 1. That's a 6.
6 easy.
All right, we made another $14. Okay, so we made $7 and we made 14. Now we're going to reduce these back to the original amount. These go back to 5. These go back to 6. Like that. Just like that. And now we're basically in amazing shape now. We can't really lose because we made $21 here, right? We made $21 here. We locked up $21. If we lose, we're not going to lose. If the 5 comes in, we're going to get paid here still, even though we're losing the 20 here. So now what we really want to see is more numbers being hit, right? This is a great concept, and when we originally showed it, people loved it. I don't know why I just haven't revisited it. Okay, great. So now we're going to make more money on top of what we've already made. So that's a 549.
Nina.
Okay, boom. Right? And look, after all those little nonsensical $2 losses, we're at 22. In a strategy like this, where are you pulling tickets on the electronic? I don't know. It's wherever you want to pull tickets. I would say probably between $25 to $40 if you're going to play it tight. But that's up to you. All right, so let's keep going and see how many more numbers we can hit. Okay, there's the 8. So 6, 2, 8. So now you're getting to see this thing in action.
8 easy.
All right, basically at $30. All right, that's a 2. That doesn't do anything. Another 9. All right, And we can't lose now. You understand? The way that this flowed up and down, the way that we played it, we can't
Nina
lose.
9.
All right, let's just keep going. 4-2, another 6. So we're going to bank another
6 winner.
$7, right? Whoop, make sure these are turned on. They always have to be turned on. There we go. Okay, 415. So here's that situation where we're going to lose this 20, but we're going to make some of the money back here anyway. And guess what that's going to do? It's going to restart us. But watch the way this is handled. Let's take it one step at a time so you can see the math.
Fever 5.
All right, we lost 13, but we made money on that entire sequence. But now we're going to take these down and we start over again. Okay? See how simple that is. Now, the point is out. So we can go right back out with our $20 starting again on the DC. Okay, now the DC moves to the 9. I love this when it came out and when we were playing it, but I don't know why. I guess I'm just so busy doing so many things that this kind of fell to the wayside, which it never should have. Because it's such a fantastic strategy. So now we're back out and we're looking for our one hit on the 5, 6, or the 8. Okay, there it is. There's the 6. So here's how it goes again. Right? We're going to make $7, right? And now we're going to double these, right? We're going to go up. We're going to go up a level. We're going to go up a level. So we're playing $5 and $6 bets. So now we're up a level. And now we're looking for one hit. And we didn't get it, unfortunately. Unfortunately, so that's a 4-3-7.
7 out.
All right. So it took us down. Now, the way that you have to look at this is you can use a ladder, meaning that we can go to $40 on these and these go to the $10 base bets. Is it necessary? No, it is not necessary. Or just do it sparingly. This is not a strategy that you really need to use a huge amount of ladder. You could ladder here, but it comes back so fast that it's not necessary on every time. So I'm not going to ladder. Okay, the point is a 6. I'm going to do this without laddering for this video, but you certainly can
6
ladder.
easy.
Okay, so here's our $20 DC. We're just going to stay at the same level. And by the way, I think we were over $40 at some point there, or whatever, over $30. I would have pulled a ticket. So here we go. Okay, the 8. So the DC is going to move to the 8.
8 easy.
And then we're just going to pop these back out here. And again, yes, I know that we're doing this on the inside numbers. And sometimes the DC is on the inside, and that's perfectly fine. All right, let's keep going. All right, unfortunately, that's a 7 right away. So we didn't get our one hit.
7 out.
But see what happened? We lost $2. No big deal. No big deal. All right, there's another 7. That's not going to give us a point. There's a 12. That's not going to give us a point. Wow, another 12. All right, 6. Finally got a point. Come on. Come on. What is that? What did I say? 6. Okay.
6
right.
easy.
And again, I'm doing this really conservative. I am not doing any type of laddering at the moment. All right, so here we go. Let's try to get this DC back out. All right, there's the 6. That hits the point. Not that we care.
6 winner.
Okay, we come back out with our bets on the inside numbers. We cap the 5 and we cap the 6 and 8, and let's see if we can hit a number. That's a 10. That doesn't do anything. Whoops. Yes, it does. It does. it becomes the point. So let's just register it.
Hard 10.
Okay, here we go. That's a 12, not going to register it. All right, that's a 5, 3, 8. So that's our one hit, which triggers us, right? We get our $7, and then it triggers us to go up, like so. All right, so now we're looking for our one hit. 6, 4, 10. That's the point. I'll register it even though it doesn't affect us really.
10 winner.
Okay. That's a 4, so the new point is a 4. It doesn't help or hurt us.
4 easy.
Here we go. That's an 8. That definitely helps us because now we're basically out of the hand, right? We got our hit on the increased amount.
8 easy.
And now we're going to reduce. Now we're going to reduce these back to the original, and we're basically out of any issue whatsoever. Just like that. Oh, that was supposed to be 6. What am I doing? Okay, let's add the 6 here. Okay, so now we're basically out of the hand. The only thing we can do now is win if we can get a few more shots here of numbers. And here's the situation. Unfortunately, we hit the 6, but after we've already hit that 7 win and came back down to the base, you're going to see it doesn't really matter in the overall picture because we've already won for this entire sequence.
Easy 6.
So we lost 13 there, right? But we had already won money in the sequence. So it's not the end of the world. Okay, we won for the sequence. So now we take these down. There is a point, and we go back out. It can be a little bit of a grinder, but sometimes when I played this, it's just, there's no grind whatsoever. All right, that's a 7 out. That's going to be a loss in the DC. So that hurts. That hurts.
7 out.
But it's part of the game, right? It's part of the game. So let's just keep going. All right, the point is 8.
Hard 8.
All right. Now, I'm still not gonna do any laddering, and that's why we're going back and forth quite a bit. Right? You can ladder if you feel you want to. Oh, now we got killed again because that's a 7. So we're getting a little bit of bad luck. The DC is getting nailed now. All right. So we need to get a point. That's not one. Another 7. Wow. Whoops. Off the table. Okay. All right. There's a 9.
Nina.
Now, if I wanted to ladder, this would really be where it was. We got knocked off the DC twice. So if you were going to do any kind of laddering, this would be when you would do it. I'm not going to do it because this thing comes back so fast. And the whole point is just to show you the system. Okay, that gives us our money back because that's a 2-1-3. So we're going to make 20 of it back
3
that
craps.
we lost. Okay, and here we go. Okay, 6. You know, the best thing that I remember when I was doing a lot of play with this was that you really never got in any real trouble. And that's the type of system I like. You probably could sit there with $500 on this, playing at this level, and you'd probably be okay 99% of the
6
time.
hard.
Okay, so we're back out. We did not ladder. And now we're looking for our one hit again. 3-1-4, that doesn't, whoops. Yeah, 3-1-4, that doesn't do anything. 4-2-6, so we're going to get nailed here again. So we've hit a little bit of a choppy
Easy
streak.
6.
Right? Because we didn't even get one hit there. So we ended up losing the full 13. So we've got to come down, right? And we're just going to go back out. So it's been real choppy over the last 10 minutes. 415, but you'll see how fast it comes back. This is the kind of system that you can play for quick hits and get off. But if you get in any kind of a little bumpy ride like we have now, you're really not going down.
Fever 5.
Notice that this is the most we've really been down, is about $14. All right, so here we go. You'll see how fast this thing comes back. And it may take a while because we're not laddering. That's what you give up when you don't ladder. Okay, that's a 12. That's a 3. Boy, where the hell are the numbers here? Okay, that's a 9. That's a good one. All right, 5, 4, 9. So that was a long time without getting any kind of a hit. All right, so now we got our $7 win. So you know what we're going to do. We're going to go up one step. Right? The same amount that we started with. And now we're going to look for our one hit. And we don't get it. So we're really getting some bad luck here. That's a 7 out.
7 winner.
That's a terrible loss because that's a 24 because it came at the second level. So unfortunately, we're having some really hard time. Let's keep going. All right, that's an 8. But even having a hard little section here, we're down $31.
8 easy.
It's not a big deal. All right, we're not going to ladder. This is about the worst you're going to see with this system, and you're only down $31. Okay, perfect. We made it back. So that's a 2-1. So we're going to make 20 back. Come on.
3 craps.
So we're within striking distance again. All right, that's a 6-2-8. So it's going to move to the 8. All right, we're going to come back out like that. Cap those 6 and 8s. And here we go. Let's see if we can get something going. 639. There it is. Okay, so we reached the first stage where we got a hit on one of our numbers. Whoops, 639. Okay.
Nina 9.
All right. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to look for that second hit. Which this is where we've been getting nailed, unfortunately. All right. But we're only down $4 now. Here we go. 213. 6410. 628. So we're getting nailed again. So here's the problem, guys. We're not hitting that second shot. So we got nailed again.
8 easy.
Now, we only lose $6 there. It's not the same as hitting the 7. We lost the 20, but we made money here. Okay? So we're just going to take these down because we don't have a DC up anymore. So we have to take them down. We're down $10. We're still within striking distance. And that's, to me, that's what a good system does. So we've had a real bumps in the road here, but we've never been down more than about $30. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. That's a 213.
3 craps.
So we made the $20 back, and look at this. After all that nonsense, we're back up again. And what were the most we were down was $30. All right, 6-4-10. This is a really quality system. You've seen about the worst you're going to see. All right, and here we go. 5, 6, 8, 9. Cap the 6 and 8. And let's see if we can get something going. Okay, 639. So we're hitting that first shot. The first step in the process, right?
9 winner.
We're making the 7. We're up $17. We've been having a problem because we're not getting the second hit before we get a 7 out or get nailed on the DC. That's been the real problem here. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can hit that 5, 6, 8, or 9. All right, that's an 11. That doesn't do anything. Okay, that is a 9. 5, 4, 9. So this is what we're looking for. right? Because now we can't
Nina,
lose.
Nina.
All right? We made that $14, and now we're going to go down. And that locks it up because we can't lose. So this is really what you're looking for. And if you think about it, this is basically a two-step system, right? And sometimes when you do these two-step systems, you get the first step and you don't get the second. But the beauty of this style and what Wayland kind of created with the math here is that you're not getting nailed, though. The only time you're really getting bounced in a bigger way is when you hit that first one, you go up, and the DC is not on one of these, and the 7, well, actually, that's not even where. It's when the 7 shows up on the second, before getting the second hit, basically. All right, so we've done it here. So now let's see if we can hit a few extra ones. 6, 4, 10. Unfortunately, that's not what we want to see because we're going to get hit here.
10 easy.
So it takes us back down. So we ended up making $1 for that sequence. We made 14 and we made 7 and then we lost 20. Okay? Not a big deal. It's not a loss. So take it down and let's do it again. Okay, we're going to move to the 8. And again, you know, where am I pulling tickets? I don't know. Anywhere between $20 to $40 is where I used to pull tickets, I think, at this level, when I played at this level. And I think based on what I'm seeing, that still makes sense to me. To pull those tickets and then restart again. And I'm going to show you the chart for this session so we can see the lowest and everything else. That's a Yo 11. That doesn't do anything. That's a 6. That's good. So that means we hit our first number.
6 hard.
We made our 7. And now we're going to go up to level 2. And we need to hit this one time to come back down to level 1. Right? Let's see if we can do that. That's a 2. That doesn't do anything. And that's a 6. So finally, wow. Here we go. So we completed both
6
tiers.
hard.
We made it. We made the $14. We're up 32. So again, all that bouncing around, you could take another $32 here. That's the point. You could have been pulling tickets, at least 2 tickets in the middle of all that mess. You could have pulled at least 2 tickets. This was at least 2 sessions worth of money for me. All right, so now let's go down and let's finish out this cycle. Oh, I went down too much again. I'm not paying attention. These need to be at 6. Okay, here we go. So let's see if we can hit a few more before we get nailed. 639. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So that's more money in the rack. That's another, what, $7.
9 winner.
All right. And look where you're at now. You're at $39. All right, there it is. Another 9, 639. And remember, we didn't do any laddering whatsoever.
Nina 9.
All right, $46. No laddering whatsoever. 426, another good one. And you know, we have nothing, we can't lose in this at this point. So I hope I'm making that clear to you guys that once you complete that 2-step cycle,
Easy 6.
you're pretty much gold. Look, you're at $53. No matter what happens now, you made money for this cycle. 437. Okay. And again, it doesn't really matter. We don't care.
7 out.
Okay? We lost $1 in that one thing, but look how much money we made during the sequence. We're at $53. So I'm going to do it one more time. 6, 2, 8. The point is 8. Come on. Why is this thing so slow? 6, 2, 8.
8 easy.
All right. And we'll go back out with our 20. 5, 1, 6. The DC is going to travel to the 6.
6 easy.
We're going to do our place bets over here. And let's see if we can get a number. 5, 4, 9. There it is. Okay, so we completed the first part of the sequence.
Nina, Nina.
We made our $7, and now we're going to go up to level 2 and hope for our one hit. We need one hit. 6, 5, yo. 5, 4, 9. There it is. There's our second hit. 5, 4, 9.
Nina, Nina.
And now we're going to instantly decrease back to our original bet. And that's how you protect yourself. And now you basically can't lose. So, is this a grind? Yeah, it could be, as you saw for those few minutes. But a lot of times, believe it or not, you just make your money, pull the ticket, and you're done. And it's not an actual grind. All right. So here we go. No stress now. I love systems like this. Oh, by the way, we're at $72, guys. Now, let me show you a little bit of an extra secret sauce. If you want to lock this up, you can take these down, right? You can take these down right now. And I'll do it. I'll do it so I can show you. If this is where you need to be and you want to just finish this sequence and pull the ticket, look, just add to this. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do. You can just come up here and just lock it up. Look, you can put $20 here. And now, if the 6 comes, well, let's just play it out. If the 7 comes, you didn't lose anything. If the 6 comes, you're going to actually make money. Watch this. That's a 12. That's just another way to lock up the other money if you want to. That's a 3. The only thing we care about now is what's going to happen, the 6 or the 7. And there it is. There's the 6. So watch what happens. We're going to lose the $20 DC.
6 hard.
But we made an extra $3, and now we're out of the hand. So you can always do that. You can always you can always take these down if you're at the point where you're looking to pull a ticket. You certainly never want to take the DC down, right? You never want to take the DC down. Just plug it if you want. Pull the other things out and plug it. And there's at $75 after all that. Now, look at this. During this session, we hit $43 here. We hit $32 here. And at the end of this quick session, what are we playing? 30 minutes. We were at 75 here. So our high point was 75 if you played through all of this, if that's what you wanted to do. Our low point was $31. That is a system. That's the kind of system that I love to play. So what did it cost you to play this system? This specific session, right? It literally, you were never down more than $31. So could you have played this specific session with $100, $200 bankroll? Yeah. I'm not telling you that that's what you should do, because you have to be prepared for even more bumps in the road than we had, right? We had the few bumps here, and then we had a bunch of bumps here, choppy, right? If we didn't make this money here, this drawdown would have been bigger. So I think you can play this, if you play it like I do, super tight, with probably a $500-600 bankroll. And there's a reason why we're testing this out along with some other systems we played, because we're doing some things behind the scenes when it comes to money management concepts, that we're looking for systems that feel similar to this. Not just in craps, by the way, but in roulette and baccarat. So to me, this is a winner to be able to implement these new concepts that you guys are going to see very, very soon. It's going to blow your mind what we're working on. It's not about the bet strategy. It's about the money management. And I am very, very excited. I'm very, very excited to keep working and going down this path that we're going down. Because when you guys finally see how much work we put into it and what it's going to do, you are not going to believe it. All right. That's it. I hope you guys enjoy the DC Inside Match. You can check out Waylon's video. And this can be played all the way up to a much higher level. You just have to try to maintain the ratio. All right, that's it. We'll see you on the next video, guys. Take it easy and check out all of our premium courses that are available for craps, roulette, and baccarat over at CasinoIncomeAcademy.com.